Thank you guys for coming back to Cobra TV. This is a subcast. Wow, we've got Joseph in the chat already saying sup. What's up, Joseph? Thank you for coming by. We got a special guest tonight, guest co-host, I guess you could say, because I hope he stays on the phone through the subcast. But Xaine's World is joining us tonight to talk about the numbers of No Man's Sky, the science behind the numbers of farming, weaponry, arming your starship up for the potential PvP that could be coming our way. But we'll be back just after this. Got to get a few more things ready, and I'll see you guys on the other side with Xaine's World and the subcast. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV, and this is the subcast.
You better put seatbelts on your ears, because Cobra's about to take them for the ride of their life on Cobra TV.
Could you guys imagine seeing movie stars doing No Man's Sky commercials?
You are listening to Intergalactic Radio with your host, Cobra, broadcasting live from the Euclid Galaxy on Atlas 102.5 FM.
Thank you so much for coming back to Cobra TV. As stated before, we've got Xaine's World on the call tonight, and we're going to be taking subcast calls as well at the second half of the show, and you'll be able to call in. Hopefully, if Xaine sticks around and ask Xaine whatever you guys want to ask him, because there is a lot to ask. This guy knows a lot about inventory management, about farms, about getting units, and about weaponry for your starship, which I was just watching right before the show. Xaine, how you doing, buddy?
Very strange. Everything's gone quiet. I can't hear anything. Is everything okay? Or
Xaine, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear now.
All right. I wonder if everybody else out there can hear. We had to switch computers. We're using a secondary computer. We went offline, guys.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Yes, it was quick. So hopefully it didn't create a second video. But here we are. Let me okay, so hopefully we're still live. Are we?
Let's look. Screen back red alert. Okay. BS can hear. I can hear.
Okay. So it looks like we're still live.
Yes, people can hear us now, I believe.
Very good. Guys, we'll try and get the image on the screen fixed here in just a little bit, but right now, I just heard a really, really strange noise. I don't know what that was, but for right now, let's go ahead and continue the conversation. Xaine's World, I'm sorry, I missed your introduction. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I was pretty much just saying thank you for having me and hello to the Cobras.
Awesome, very awesome. Thank you for coming out to chat, guys. I cannot see the chat at the moment, so I won't be able to respond. I won't know who's donating at the moment, so I apologize for any of that. I'm not ignoring anybody. I will get things, fixed somehow, some way, shape, or form. Xaine, so I brought you on the show. I want to talk about your YouTube channel, and I also want to talk about your aspirations, things you want to do for the channel, where you're going to be in the future, but also for everybody out there that wants to get those units and preparation for next, because we don't know what's going to happen with multiplayer. We don't know if multiplayer is going to be implemented into all the modes. It is right now. I mean, we got multiplayer in every single mode, and you can see everybody no matter what mode you're in. So we don't know if multiplayer is going to be like an extra mode or what. We don't know, but our normal saves are precious to us, and I know Hello Games thinks that they know that we have we're fond of our normal saves, or all of our saves, whether it be permadeath or survival. We're fond of those. So I don't think they're going to make people start all the way over to do multiplayer or even PvP for that matter. So it's, one of the things that I see the common theme is people really trying to get those units to try and get prepared for next, get those S-class haulers or those S-class fighters, and getting all those blueprints. And so I guess one of the things that we could start talking about is getting units. What is the best way to get units in No Man's Sky that you have found?
Okay, right. So there's a number of different ways you can get units. It's there's like a way for every type of person. So there's two of the best legit ways which don't use glitches or exploits, and those are trading or stasis device farm. The trading is the easiest to set up, and it's not that much lower than the stasis device farm as far as profits go. But the stasis device farm is higher, but it takes one hell of a lot more to set up. Like, you have to set up about 112 atmospheric harvesters on different worlds, because you can only put 3 each world and stuff. Whereas trading, it'll take about, you can probably do it in 5 hours per 10 systems. And that's like the method I employ is to basically follow the basic loops. So with trading, there's 2 different loops. So there's 7 different types of trading economy. This is starting to get really complicated already. Like you choose one of those loops, and you just basically plan the systems out for the ones with the sort of highest sell percentage and the lowest buy. And you're looking for something around, if you add the 2 together, for about 90 to 100 for the buy and sell on the systems. And then you basically just plan that out and you invest the time at the start. And by investing time at the start, when you go through it, you're essentially spending time now to be able to go through the routes super quickly. And you can basically get it to about, I think for 9 transactions it was 70 million, and you can get 70 million in about 22 minutes, and it works out to like about, I think it was 174 million per hour is a realistic amount you could make from trading. Okay. Which is pretty insane, and that's like the most legit way. You can make a lot more if you use exploits.
Very awesome, very awesome. Yeah, I just recently, if you talk to Sword, I've just recently started going to farms and things like that. And one of the things I noticed is that it's inventory management heavy. Like when I went to Sword Farms, it's like, okay, I got the blueprints for this, but I got to craft this and I got to craft that. And I'm sitting there like, oh, wait a minute, what do I craft first? What would be beneficial? Maybe I should craft these. There's a science behind it, because if you do it the right way, you can actually walk out of there with more. With more units. So inventory management is really important.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, okay, there are 2 ways you could actually approach that. So like, either a good way, if you're not sure what the farm's going to be like when you get there, is to just have any piece of sort of like junk in one of your cargo slots so that you can't fill it. And then you've got a 5 slot to be able to craft into after, no matter how much you get, so you can't overfill. Because the big problem is if you fill your inventory, you don't know where to craft. So you could do that. Also, is when building the farms, it's not like a massive deal as long as the person who's farming is sort of aware. But like, say like if it's a living glass farm, then you'll want 8 gamma root plants, and you want 2 copperite per lubricant and 5 frostwall. So the best way is to sort of have all the gamma and copperite sort of like the mats for one in one dome, then the next one in the other. So you're not just collecting an entire inventory full of gamma root, and then you can sort of build it as you go along, instead of having loads of gamma root, nowhere to put your copperite to be able to craft and stuff like that.
Right, and maybe another important thing is to have your ship empty as well, so that way you can take some of those crafted items and shoot them over to your ship.
That's definitely handy, but a lot of farms also have the galactic trade terminals, so it can be very beneficial to be able to craft it on your person, so you can just sell it at the farm you're at and then carry on.
I see, I see. And another good tactic is once you've utilized every resource at that base and you've done what you could to maximize your rewards, you could actually have another portal address to another base or farm. I'm sorry, and go there and just keep farm hopping. And to how long do you think it would take if you farm hopped like that to get maxed out to the to that default ceiling of units?
Oh, default ceiling. I've never actually done the maths on that. It's 4.3 billion or just under for the max ceiling. For like, it depends what the farm is. For like a stasis device farm, which you can't. Well, you can if you use glitches, create it for people to use. But if you do complete legit, you need your own gas harvest and stuff. With that, you could do it in 20 hours, which is ridiculous. But like a standard farm earns a lot lower. So like about say. Maybe the top of that is about 50 million an hour. So what is that? And actually, there are too many variables because each base is too far from the portal and stuff. Basically, I think it was about. It would take a couple of a week or so. I think it would take a while. Like, as in, oh no, it'd take a few days. Sorry, of like solid play. So it's still a big goal to reach, especially just with standard farming. But it's pretty great.
Very awesome, very awesome. So, what would be the best kind of farm if you wanted to get rich pretty quick and you didn't want to, you just wanted to maximize, minimize the time doing it so that way you can get your freighter or your S-class. What would be the best kind of farm to hit up?
The best kind of farm. Okay, well, like there's a few different farms. I know you're asking for the best one, but like depending on your circumstance, so you'd want circuit board if it was just a passive farm. So like a one harvest per cycle circuit board where you just have to harvest it once every 2 hours. So then you can go out exploring, come back every 2 hours and just harvest it, sell, then carry on. If you want the highest farm in that level of blueprints, so like the circuit board, liquid explosive, or living glass, then living glass is the best, but you need to harvest it every 30 minutes at the sort of slowest, with 15 minutes at the quickest. And like there's also stasis device farm, which is the quickest way to do it, but it requires a lot of setup. So the best balance is actually, I find personally, trading is the best balance between them, but it's not a farm, obviously.
I see. And someone who was, like I said, I was just watching one of your videos about, the weaponry on starships. What do you think is, and one of the things you said in your video is that really none of these are the wrong decision. It's just based on what you want and what you need. From a PvP perspective, and I know this might change. We might get all different weapons. These weapons we have might get wiped out and replaced with something else. But it's right now, just in case that weaponry stays the same and there's no weaponry added with the update, what do you think would be the best setup if you are to come across somebody in space? What kind of ship? And I think about the haulers. When I think about the haulers, if I can get that set up to have good firepower, they do have better shields.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what do you think would be a good setup for somebody who wants to try and prepare for PvP?
Okay, the ultimate setup would be, weirdly, an exotic, because it's got the high damage, the high shields. And if you get one with a decent slot arrangement, you could fit in a phase beam and a cyclone ballista. And if you really want to go into sort of getting the skill there, put a rocket launcher in as well. Use the rocket launcher right as they're coming with phase beams when you're sort of on the move, and hope that the rocket hits. But either way, it's like a second, and then just destroy them with the phase beams. The cyclone ballista is sort of the weapon for when they're coming right at you. So if they're coming at you, while they are technically moving, to your perspective, they're not. So you can actually really easily hit them with cyclone ballista, and you can hit with an entire volley, and a 3-star ship will be completely destroyed easily with one volley from a fully upgraded cyclotron. Obviously, on permadeath, I would say definitely either exotic or hauler. I wouldn't go with fighter because it's just too dangerous. You want the shields, you want the longevity. Same with survival, really, just because it could be harder. I haven't actually looked into survival as far as the differences between battle yet, because I've never actually made a survival account, weirdly. In normal, fighter, exotic, or hauler, they're all actually really good options. But if you can fit your weaponry in the exotic, definitely use an exotic.
Okay, so exotic seems like to be the first choice, and oddly enough, am I hearing that maybe like fighter's not such a good choice after all for PvP defense and offense?
It's mainly because of the sort of longevity. Say against other players, that lack of shielding is going to be a real issue depending on how they balance it in the game. But like, so a hauler gives you that extra shielding, that extra leeway before you have to recharge. Like if you're going against sentinels, while they will always be better pilots than a player because it's sort of like a narrow AI, so it's like it's going to be better. But like they are predictable to an extent, and you sort of know what they're going to do, so you can plan when to recharge shields. Against a player, that's not such a the players are less predictable.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they are. What else on the numbers side of No Man's Sky besides farming and the weaponry have you been tinkering with? Or something that maybe I haven't asked about that you would like to bring up?
Well, obviously, farming was the first thing I looked into. I spent like about 3 months on farming. It's ridiculous. But half that 3 months was learning how to look through files and stuff, which I kind of learned from Mass Effect Andromeda, because I covered that game before. Basically, that sent me...
So you say you've been looking like data mining, sort of?
Yeah, essentially. Like I learned, like in Mass Effect Andromeda, I wanted to make DPS calculators, and the only way I could get solid data was by actually unpacking the game files themselves and searching through all the code. Well, not code. It is kind of code. I don't know. Anyway, basically files like settings files and stuff, and
yeah,
they are not meant for like human eyes, so it like destroys you to look through them for like 5 hours straight. But it's worth it to get all the solid data. So I took that into No Man's Sky. So of course, like I've built like I've basically got like a little secret sort of database with like which I've set up a system so that I can basically, I've got every blueprint, buildable blueprint, technology, every craftable and stuff in a single sort of spreadsheet, which I've set up with all the materials it requires to make it and stuff, and all the information for it. So cost, nanite, cost, rank if it's needed, so forth. And basically, I've set it up so when they update the game, I can just change like 2 or 3 values, and it changes the whole thing and stuff.
Wow. So is that how you were? Because I noticed one of the things when I was watching the weapons video that you had is you actually had like the length of like how far the weapon actually reached. Did you get that based on looking at the files?
Actually, when it comes to the weaponry, I didn't have to do the work for that, which was fantastic. A great sort of walking wiki called Ket, who's big on the Reddit and stuff. He's sort of like a files genius, data genius. Like he'd already sort of looked at all the files, done loads of in-game testing, same with all the tech and stuff to make sure what works with what. He made the Ket layout editor. You may have seen that. Where you can sort of test layouts for the technology and stuff, and he programmed that. And like I programmed one of my tools to be able to take his URL, because like in his layout editor, when you put stuff in, it changes URL, so you can basically copy that and send someone. They can like then use that URL, and it brings up basically the layout you had in it. And like I programmed the tool which tells you all the materials you need to build the stuff and stuff like that, the rank, nanite, cost and stuff. And like I've made it so you can paste the URL from his tool and stuff into it, and basically auto-fills. And like so he's made loads of spreadsheets and stuff with all the data. He's made like a ship weapons one, ship cost. There's one for there is one for tech. Oh yeah, the ship weapons one has the optimum DPS and damage per shot builds and stuff for each weapon. It's all linked in descriptions of my videos and stuff. Obviously, I've given him full credit because, like, you know, the amount of work he did with the data for that was ridiculous, and it allowed me to not have to search through files again for that specific thing.
Well, that's all super exciting. Guys, if you're just joining the show, I'm talking to Xaine's World. Xaine from Xaine's World. He's the guy that makes those awesome tutorials for bases and crunches the numbers for us so we can have a quick and easy video to look at. Just so you guys know, we had a mishap here in the Cobra Cave, and we are running on a very bootleg, so to speak, computer. The one we normally stream from is out of commission at the moment, and there is a technical difficulty screen on the screen, and I will be re-uploading this with more gameplay and things like that, so be on the lookout for this to be re-uploaded, so that way, you know, you don't be shocked when you see it, like, wait a minute, I've already seen this. We're just going to re-upload it. So we're going to be taking callers a little bit, and you'll be able to come on and ask Xaine some questions. We got ads in the chat. Thank you, Stuart, for the donation in the super chat. Hashtag Stuart. Ads in the chat says, Zaine's tools have helped me so much. My farm was easy with his shopping list. He showed me how to get the glyphs super quick, and I've got the S-Class multi-tool. So there you go. That must make you feel good.
Yeah, I must admit, it really does. It's really nice to see the comments to know that the work I put in stuff is actually helping. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. Real, I think, is asking a general question to the audience there. Let's see. Gold and silver, don't worry about it. There will always be number crunchers. I think no, Gold and Silver was saying all this talk about this technical stuff makes me realize I'm going to be poor in No Man's Sky. Is there an easy way for someone who doesn't want to, get so technical to be able to do this without, diving so deep into the numbers and inventory management?
There is definitely okay. There's like two main ways. So there's like a super passive way, because I made a guide, like sort of meta guide of making units, which sort of covered every general way to make it. And the most passive is using the analyzers, the fauna and flora analyzers. With those at max, you can get 52,000 per flora scan and 305,000 per really rare fauna scan. And it goes down to like 150 for the medium fauna, and then I think it's either 102 or 72 for the rare for the least rare fauna. And if you land on a planet that's got like a lot of fauna and flora, or just a lot of flora, you can make a few million in a second. It's ridiculous, and it fits the exploration thing perfectly. So if you just prefer to explore, then you will casually make units over time doing that, definitely. Nice. Also, I actually built a tool, which is the sort of farm base planner. And this tool actually allows you to... basically, you just plug in, there's about 3 steps. You just plug in, what kind of planet you're looking for, and stuff like that, and then just say, it'll give you a few options and stuff. You basically just fill in the form, and then it tells you the exact base blueprint that you need to build it, so you don't have to actually do any of the number crunching. I built into that tool where you can, if you already have some of your base and you want to fill in the extra complexity with the farm, you can basically just sort of check off all the different buildings you already have built, and it will take that out of the complexity limit and then build you a farm in what you've got left.
Well, that's cool. That's good. Yeah, I remember the good old days, man, when there were sack venom and gravitino balls all over the place, and I would just make videos just collecting them up, taking them up to the space station and selling it, and I had me a freighter in no time back then. Yeah,
it's the I think the first ever unit making thing. This was before I started number crunching and stuff. Is actually, I was doing YouTube at the time. But anyway, I think I was just flipping gravitino balls from a planet. I found a planet with gravitino balls and another one with vortex cubes. So I was just running down to planet, getting 35 at once, just filling everything, trying not to be killed by sentinels, running up to the station, getting a few mil overall, and then running back down. No, it was so repetitive and took hours, but it's sort of like the rose-coloured glasses of past the good old days.
All right. Someone just informed me that I misspelled your name. I have now fixed that. Thank you guys for letting me know that.
I'm ashamed I didn't notice.
All right, so that's fixed. Okay. All right, so we're going to be taking callers. And, well, first, I want to talk about your YouTube channel, Xaine's World. How long have you had your channel?
It's coming up to about 3 years now, I think. I think it'll be about 3 years near the end of the year. And, I started off very slow. Actually, my first videos were Minecraft. That was terrible. But, like, I still have plays my heart for Minecraft. And then I kind of just, from Minecraft, moved on to a few different other games and stuff. Went through, like, Darkfall, New Dawn. It was like a sort of reimagining of an old MMORPG, like a really rough one where, like, if you get killed in PvP, everything you're carrying, including your armor, is up for grabs. It's a fairly brutal RPG, that was. And I just moved on through a bunch of different games. Did like Resident Evil playthrough. That's actually really fun. The newest one, I really enjoyed that. I like and then went to Mass Effect, which my channel started to peak. And then obviously No Man's Sky was coming. I can't remember if No Man's Sky was before. Oh yeah, no, I actually streamed No Man's Sky at launch. That was before Mass Effect and all that. But I don't think anyone was bothered at the time in my streaming, because I think there's a lot of people streaming and stuff. Then I came back a few points and ended up coming back properly in Atlas Rises, and it just hasn't, like, it's just kept my concentration all this time because it's just gotten even better.
Awesome. What are your plans for the future?
Oh, for the future? Well, basically, I'm trying to build, I'm doing multiple things at once. So, I'm doing the channel, I've got my website, which I'm trying to focus more on. I'm working on more tools. I'm trying to make more advanced tools. So I'm learning, I'm trying to learn some coding and stuff, so I can start coding, like proper apps and stuff. And basically, I'm trying to build multiple things at once that kind of complement each other. Okay. And basically, it's my sort of ethos and stuff is that, like, if you just, I'm basically just trying to, like, help a lot of people. I know it sounds really weird. It sounds corny.
No, does it?
Basically, yeah. So I can't think of a better way to describe it, really.
You're trying to provide a service for everyone through apps and things like that in the No Man's Sky community to be able to help know the numbers and know what to do in the game a lot better.
Yeah, that's a much better way of putting it.
That's a Cobra way. That was a dummy way. I just explained it how I would understand it. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to see what you're going to bring. I mean, are you gonna? So you've I noticed. I think you was a recent video of yours, Andromeda.
Oh yeah, right. So while I do mainly do No Man's Sky stuff, like the usual schedule was like 2 to 3 videos a week. But last week I was at my annual music festival. It's the only week in the year where I'm not at home, basically. And then I got sick just after it. I'm just on the tail end of it now, so there hasn't actually been a video of 2 weeks, which is kind of gutting. But I do stream as well. I do it was 4, but it's now 3. Mass Effect on Tuesdays, Fallout on Thursdays, and No Man's Sky Permadeath on the Sundays. I'm working my way through the Mass Effect trilogy. So I've just started Mass Effect 3, because I've never played them before, but I did 600 plus hours in Mass Effect Andromeda, so everyone who was watching their streams and stuff was like, you should play the trilogy, it's way better. And I'm discovering that it is pretty damn awesome.
Very awesome, very awesome. Guys, if you want to start your farm, or if you need to know how to pick a farm, or get those units, head on over to Xaine's World. He's got a comprehensive YouTube channel with comprehensive guides to getting all that stuff done, learning how to do that stuff. Sword, who's an amazing person who I've been going to his farms here lately, learned everything that he knows from Xaine's World. So head on over there, give him a subscribe. His link should be down below if that wasn't taken out before the technical difficulty that we had. But I'm sorry about the screen there. Sorry about the screen. I feel like if I do anything on this computer other than what I'm doing right now, it's going to completely start buffering on everybody. Hopefully that's not happening. But let's go ahead. You want to go ahead and take some callers?
Yeah, cool, man. Let's do it.
All right. Let's see who we got. You know, I'm going to do somebody a good service here. And I'm going to get probably one of your biggest fans on the call first. Sword. What is going on, buddy? You are live with Xaine from Xaine's World Sword. How are you, buddy?
Dude, this is epic, man.
Yo, Sword.
Seriously, man, I've got to talk to Xaine in my chat, and Zaine's got to talk to me in his chat, but it is awesome getting to talk to you in person, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I've only just realised we've never actually done that, have we? That's crazy.
No, man. This is like... Dude, my hands are shaking. I'm so excited. I was telling Sim on the way home, I was like, dude, I got to get home. I got to catch Cobra. I want to talk to Xaine today. Dude,
awesome, man.
Guys, I know Cobra's done said it, guys, but I'm serious. Any of y'all guys listen, ain't subscribed to Xaine's World, get it done today, man, because I'm telling you, the guy is like the Yoda of No Man's Sky knowledge. If you watch his guides, you know you'll be teaching people what to do in No Man's Sky very quick because it is comprehensive.
I will definitely take Yoda. I'll hood and a cloak. It's gonna be awesome.
I got something to say as a noob farmer or a noob farm pillager. I don't know what you would call me, but I took a trip to one of your farms last night, Sword, and I walked away with over $20 million or units, 20 million units in one trip.
Nice.
Hey, I'm telling you guys, for like guys with hubs, I've kind of taken on what Xaine taught me as far as like the building the mass passive farm, like the circuit boards and the liquid explosives. Most of like my living glass farms being passive, it's not going to turn as many units for you, but what it is, it's kind of like a starter farm. So like if you're going to start and create your own farm in that fashion, you can go to those living glass farms and collect all the resources to build your own farm with the biodomes, because it takes so much living glass and glass to create a biodome. So, but you know, guys that are like in hubs or in an area with a group of or a small community of people, you know, like what we done in the consortium hub where we built, or me and Sim has built close to 12, I think it's 11 or 12 bases. Or farms in the same area. So you're like, once you've found the waypoint and got them marked and have traveled to them, they'll show up in your galactic map with the little circles around them. So you'll always know where they're at. So you won't even have to look in your discoveries page to find them once you've been there a few times and learn where they're at in the region. And man, if you like go warp harvest repetitively, we've almost got it set up to where some of the first farms you've hit are regrowing by the time you get to the last farm. So if you like really want to throw down and grind, like pick a Saturday and just say, hey, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna grind till 8 o'clock tonight, you can come away with some mass amounts of units. Yeah,
you and Sam have actually done like a really good job in the consortium hub. I mean, like whenever I've gone to Amino app, I've just seen like basically you just teaching other people. It's awesome.
Oh, dude, like I said, I'm just sharing what I've learned from you, dude. I mean, you know, that's what it is. It's a community, man. Help each other out. I mean,
that's right. I'm going to get Sem on here, too, because Sem is also another big fan of yours, Xaine.
Brother from another mother.
So here he comes. Xaine, what's going on? I mean, Sem, what's going on? I'm talking to Xaine. I'm getting confused.
How exciting is this? It's Xaine. Xaine is a beast, guys. He really is. I know everyone's already said, yeah, you need to get this man's channel in your life. If you love YouTube and No Man's Sky and you're not already there, what are you doing? Just saying. But yeah, man. Oh, this is exciting. Everyone's really excited that you guys do. It's really hard to like accept that there's this much awesomeness in one room, like you and Xaine, guys. It's a bit scary, to be honest with you. It feels like the world's going to break or something. Yeah, I'm so happy for Sword. Yay! I had a quick question for Xaine, actually. I want to know what your thoughts were on the ESRB rating changes and if you feel that sort of implies ground combat either with other people or NPCs.
I don't personally think it's enough to go on. I'm not really one to speculate. So, like, personally, I mean, in my head, I'm just thinking of ways that it could just be nothing. So, like, I'm thinking it could just be that it's sort of that Xbox has a different standard that they would rather shoot for and be completely legally clear. I don't know. So, unfortunately, I haven't got a particularly good answer for that.
Well, me. I'll speculate all day till the cows come home. And I just released a video a couple hours ago talking about the ESRB one more time. And what's interesting is inside that ESRB rating is they talk about, getting in space battles with pirates or enemy ships. Nowhere in that entire thing are they referencing multiplayer whatsoever. It doesn't say get in with pirates or other online players. No, it doesn't say that. So when they talk about the things that you can encounter on the planet side is aggressive and non-aggressive animals, which it says that for the PlayStation 4 ESRB as well. But then it changes by saying humanoid like figures and robots. Now, again, I don't think they brought up or touched on multiplayer whatsoever in that ESRB summary. So therefore, I think they're really talking about NPCs and not humanoid-like players. Yeah, they haven't actually mentioned anything that isn't already in the game. So if you think about it, like there was one bit I thought some people may misunderstand where it says you can use many different weapon-like things and stuff. Maybe people might think that means we're getting new as in different multi-tools we can switch to, but it could. Oh, did we lose Xaine? Oh, we got a donation from Joseph. Joseph says in the super chat says Xaine needs enough YouTube. Xaine needs enough YouTube money to buy feta cheese to feed all of his 8 hungry ginger stepchildren. So go subscribe. I hope that's a compliment.
You cut off.
I'm sorry. What? No, you cut off. Are you back? Xaine?
This is why with the wrong button fund. You have to do this. It's so broken, his PC. Please help him.
Xaine, are you there? Are you there, Xaine?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, when it talks about a lot of that is exactly the same as the launch summary for the ESRB PlayStation 4. What changes in it, even the multiple weapons and things like that, that's all the same. But what changes in it is when it talks about third and first person, and when it talks about humanoid-like figures and robots. I think the robots, I guess, I think it's clear, safe to say that those are Sentinels, but the humanoid-like figures, the summary's not talking about multiplayer. I really going to stand by my speculation and say that those are NPCs.
If anything, though, I would say that's anti-speculation. As in that sort of... it's not anti-speculation, it's anti-hype speculation.
Right. I guess so. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Controlled speculation, there we go.
Right. Guys, we're going to get some more Cobras on the show so that we can get some questions here for... Xaine, let's see who. Here's another good caller that always comes on. Ivy Mike is on the show. Ivy, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Yo.
Not too much, man. Having a blast here talking to Xaine, and Xaine kind of reminds me of what was that show with that kid that was really smart? I don't know what it is, but Zaine's really smart. So ask Xaine the smart questions and ask me the fun ones.
What's up, Xaine? So. Yeah, man, you've been I've been seeing your videos for a long time, and cool. I mean, I don't have any specific questions for you. I just appreciate your content, and good stuff, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Have you found Xaine's videos to be helpful for you? I mean, has he ever in the past helped you out with something as far as farming or anything like that?
You know, I always played No Man's Sky. I was trying to I want to figure it out on my own. There's been, so I definitely have watched his videos kind of after the fact and just trying to compare. But I don't like kind of like getting, especially when I was playing up, in the beginning,
I definitely get that I'm kind of the same person, which is why I go too deep because I kind of want to find out ooh, this looks interesting. I wonder how it works.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you just refer to Xaine as Doogie Howser MD, by the way? Just
no, it's not Doogie. No, not Doogie. Not Doogie. Not Doogie.
Doogie Howser.
We got Leo Crash 54. Leo Crash 54 is on the call. Leo, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Cobra.
How you doing?
Good. Just having fun looking at your live stream as always.
Yeah, sorry there's a random picture there. We'll re-upload it more fun, I promise. But
no worries, Cobra.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Leo, we're on the call with Xaine. Zaine's our guest today, and he's the one that gives everybody the ins and outs of farmings and the weapons, and he's got stats like how far a weapon can reach and stuff like that. I mean, this guy's got it all. He's got it all, man. So if you have any questions for him, like how to, what starship would be the best, and how to attach blueprints, what blueprints to use. I mean, Zaine's got it all. So if you have any questions for him, this is the guy.
I don't know what I had to say, but I'm nervous to say a lot of questions. But I'm excited and everything.
Cool.
That's very good. That's very good.
Deep breaths, man. Deep breaths.
A quick question. Which of the have you seen the E3 showings now, Xaine?
No.
Okay, you first.
Still no.
Right. There's a reason. Right. Okay. Right. Basically, mainly, I'm avoiding Last of Us 2 because I haven't played the first one. I haven't played the first one yet, and I've been told that it won't really make as much sense to me. So I'm actually going to stream. Right, I'm going to stream Last of Us, the first one, in between, just before Fallout 76 comes out. So there's going to be some time in between there. So I'm going to stream that first. Then I'll watch the trailer and then play the new one.
Fair. I've been trying to convince Cobra to play that since I found out he hasn't yet. And honestly, you have to. It's so good. Game of the year, 2 years in a row. You can't beat it. It's amazing.
I've heard nothing but good things from everyone who I've ever known who's played it, and I respect most of their opinions, and they've just said it's pretty good. So I'm just hoping it won't be sort of like the too much hype thing. Which actually, now I think about it, kind of cuts close to her with No Man's Sky.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, that's a deep cut.
Wow.
Hey, and I will give you guys a full disclosure and disclaimer on Zaine's channel. If you do watch his stuff, be warned, you may have a song stuck in your head for weeks on end.
Oh, okay.
And you will not be on Easy Street.
Listen, guys, if y'all want to watch the funniest video on YouTube, watch Zaine's World S-Class Freighter video. Guys, I'm telling you what, I haven't laughed that hard in my entire life. It is hilarious.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Xaine, I do have one. So I heard you have an awesome permadeath series on Sundays, right? From 12 to 5, is it?
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear it's described as awesome. It's on Sundays. I'm not sure which time zone that is, 12 to 5.
Okay, cool. That's Eastern. I'm not sure. Yeah, what the reality is, or what the time is there. But how far along are you with that permadeath save? I honestly haven't caught it myself, but I've heard awesome things. I'm planning on watching tomorrow. So.
Well, right. 2 seconds. I'll actually just load it up. Basically, I think it's on the. I think the last stream was the 13th, and streams are roughly 4 to 5 hours long each.
Oh, nice. So, how are you fully decked out with the freighter and everything in permadeath? in that scene?
Okay. Well, when it comes to me and streaming, basically everything will take twice as long as it would if I wasn't streaming, because I spend half the stream just like staring at the chat and be like, yeah. In fact, I was once reading the chat and I very nearly died. I got hit like 3 times, like Cobra did the other day when visiting your farm. I got hit 3 times, taken to 2 health on permadeath just because I read a comment on the chat.
Goodness.
I sprinted away like, no!
Now, let me ask, whose comment was you reading? We can all send him letters.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get it.
I think it was Funny Imps, wasn't it?
You're on blast. Funny.
Is he like posting in his chat because he's really cool with his responses, but you're so afraid to because you might kill him.
Wow.
Guys, we got Omega that just joined. Omega just joined the chat. Guys, if you're a Patreon supporter at this point in time, you guys are allowed to come right into the subcast room. No questions asked. No waiting room. You don't need to wait to be raptured. But Omega, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us.
Yo, Omega.
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Got one comment, and I do have one question for Xaine.
Yeah,
the comment is, Cobra, awesome subcast as always. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
No problem. And Xaine, I have been watching your videos, and they're very, very well done. I appreciate what you do, and your knowledge is vast, so appreciate it. And you're welcome. The question I have is about technology placement and the bonuses you gain from it. So I'm noticing that if I put my +1, my +2, my +3, so forth together, along with the associated part or weapon I'm dealing with, I notice that on the ship stats or the multi-tool stats, it does go up like I would expect it to. But at some point, when I keep adding more on, it
reaches 10,000.
No, actually,
okay.
I haven't seen that. This one is like if you take, let's just take a gun for your ship, right? When I put like the +2 and then the +3 and the +1, I'll notice it go up each time, as I would expect. But then, like if I go to like the coolant or the accelerated fire or whatever, I'll continue putting the +2, the +3, +1 up, and I always make sure they're all connected so they all have the shared color borders. And I'll either see one of 2 things occur. Either A, it'll stop boosting that figure, or B, it will boost it like, 0.3 of a point at a time, which is very, very significantly lower than I was seeing with the first few items I attached. Have you ever seen that? And if so, do you know why?
Okay, right. The stats that you see sort of in game, they're generally rounded a lot and stuff. The ones you see on the actual screen, as far as like what's showing you, that they're often a little different to what they actually are. I would advise working your layouts in Ket's layout editor, because that's kind of exact through loads of testing and stuff, and it actually shows it better than in game, which is kind of weird. But I think the in game tries to make it more readable. As far as the ones sort of influencing differently, like when it comes to weapons, like everything of that weapon set will affect everything else of that weapon set. So like a theta coolant won't just only affect the coolant, it'll affect the damage and the fire rate. So like you basically want to build it so the thetas are being touched the most by everything around them, and then the taus next, and the sigmas in the corners and stuff like that, so that you can basically make the most of the multiplication. And then you'll have like, you want the one that's being touched the most to be like fire rate, because fire rate is the one to really go for over damage, because the more your fire rate is up, then the more in general it'll happen. If you I can't really link it or anything at the moment. Like in Ket's ship weapons spreadsheet, it actually shows like the full layouts, and like it shows the best DPS layout and the best damage per shot. And so like you can see from there that he's put like the sims on the outside, but weirdly a damaged theta is hardly touched by anything because it's the least important. Well, it's not the least important, but it's not as important as like fire and stuff. I'm starting to get to the boring talk now, so I'll stop there.
It's alright, Xaine.
No, keep going.
Keep going, Xaine.
Xaine does have Ket's link in the description in all his videos. So if you pull up one of his videos, click that Ket's layout editor link. Guys, that is like, awesome tool.
Thank you, Sword. You just read my mind.
Yeah, same here.
Guys, quick question for you, Xaine. Do you prefer to run around with full loadouts, or personally, I love the well, it used to be the Rasamaba, and now the what's the name of the new ship? The Yakumaku. I hate the Yakumaku, but anyway, I love running with no upgrades, especially in permadeath. And see, there's something awesome about like taking out 5 pirates with stock, blasters, and not having any upgrades. Do you guys find that more rewarding as well, or?
Generally, like with my permadeath playthrough, I've got like big aspirations. I intend to get to the last galaxy and stuff and start a civilization. So you don't have to take that risk, right? Yeah, but I have, just for this sort of, so I can say I've done it, taken on pirates with almost no weaponry. On my permadeath save, a few times. I think I got being accused of having an unstable mind at the time. But it was fun, but it's like I know that if I do it for long enough, eventually I'm going to mess up. So before I take on a lot more, I'll be getting a fully upgraded hauler and or exotic, depending if I can get the exotic with the right slot lane.
Nice. Good deal.
Nice, interesting. Xaine, I got one question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. For my opinion, the same way I'm gonna ask the same way to Cobra. When they show up the Waking Titan, the first video that you show me, Cobra, that multi-crew ship. What are your thoughts about it, both of you guys?
Well, I actually don't cover I don't actually follow Waking Titan. It's one thing I've always kind of wanted to catch up with, but there's just so much out there that I just haven't had a sort of free day to digest it all. So I don't actually really know much of all that stuff. I've seen the screenshots, I've seen a few things while watching actually Cobra streams.
Okay. So
I've seen the sort of images we've been getting, with the new suits and stuff, and the ring planets and whatnot. The first thing I actually saw properly from Waking Titan was that potential multiplayer ship, which looks awesome, but I don't want to put my hope into it yet because
yeah. Well, I mean, I think the showing of those ships is kind of like the showing of the distorted exotic ship from the first Waking Titan. So I'm almost positive they're going to be in the game, but what are they? I really don't know. I think they could. They look like they're smaller than a freighter. My hope, I'll tell you what my hope is, what they are. I hope they're multi-crew ships, but I also hope that you can pilot these things solo. I hope that they have stations that your friends can use, but you don't need your friends there to be able to have one of these and own one of these.
That would be amazing.
It would definitely be cool.
I'm hoping that these ships are going to have interior. You can land them on the planets. They're not like the big freighters. The freighters, you would imagine something as big as those freighters might not be able to go into a planet's atmosphere because maybe it's too heavy and it's unbalanced and it break apart.
And they could destroy it.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I'm really hoping that these ships that we've seen are kind of like planetary explorative, bigger ships than what we have now. That's a hope. Something that you can actually keep your exocraft in as well.
Right.
It kind of looks like there's bays in it that you might be able to fly Starcraft in and out of as well. On one of the images, it really does look like that.
Or maybe,
that's what I'm hoping for.
Or maybe it can do like a mixture with Elite Dangerous and with the mixture with Evil Lines fleet. You know what I mean? You can build. In my opinion, my perspective, it's the same thing as Elite Dangerous and Evil Line, but in mixture with different elements with it. You can say build fleets in a different platoon people. I was saying the same thing to your people on Cobra. Saying build 4 people and then another 4 people in the platoon. After they do that, they build a big fleet in space, or they're gonna do a colonized space. You can think about that. if they make those the highest update with that, they're gonna make a fortune.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. Guy, I hope, you know, I mean, I think there's a lot more to this update than actually what we know. I mean, think about what they told us already, and think about what we learned through Atlas Rises. But then when we got the patch notes, we're like, what? We get all that too?
Player?
What? That too? Oh my god! Wait, there's more. So,
Yeah. That's why I'm getting
their...
more excited about it. I'm getting more excited and hyped
so
up.
If this is their biggest update yet, and it's bigger than Atlas Rises, and we know as much as we do already, man, we're in for it, dude. We are in for it. I'm going to get another caller on the show. We're going to get Zeke
on it, like completely refreshing all the time. Check for newest updates.
Hello, Zeke. You've been raptured into the subcast room. How are you?
Oh, mid-sentence.
Oh,
what's going on?
Nothing much, buddy. Nothing much. We got Xaine from Xaine's World, the numbers guy. The guys can tell you how to get rich in one afternoon and tell you how to, you know, blueprint up your starship and all that stuff.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for Xaine?
Questions? Not necessarily, but I will say you are a brilliant person. I have followed a lot of your videos so far. You helped me out a lot when it comes to farming because I was a lot like Cobra. I did not want to farm at all. It's dumb. I don't want to do it.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Yeah, no, I've got this this great little circuit board farm set up now. I'm making, oh god, like 13, 14 of them every 2 hours. I know it's slow, but it's a work in progress. And you know, I've got multi-tool set up. I'm lining up all of the technologies to make them all work better and more efficiently. So you're brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you very much. Like, I was going to say, like, the pace at which anyone sort of, like, the size of your farm doesn't matter. It's just, like, the great thing about No Man's Sky, there is no, except the fact that we've got an impending update at the moment. But, like, generally, there's no reason to do anything right now. You can just go at your own pace, do whatever you want. Like, on my permadeath save, I've gone for aesthetics, sort of, largely, instead of just a farm. So it's like a farm, but it's like a really nice looking farm where I've used a big chunk of complexity for other stuff.
Like a farmer. Like a big farmer, garden NASA stuff, like like build their own house in the garden base or something.
Yeah, like well, I don't know. I just made it look kind of pretty. I don't know.
It's all right.
So actually, Xaine, I do have a bit of a question.
Hey, cool, man.
My play style is a bit more of that traveler. I love just jumping around all over the place.
Me too.
My freighter is my bane right now. I cannot figure out how to properly set up anything for farming in it because I know I use it mainly to jump, but I'd like to have my base a little more mobile. So do you have any recommendations, or do you happen to have a video like kind of outlining the best ways to set up the freighter base?
I actually don't. It is one that's been requested, and it's on my sort of to-do list.
Same here. I want to request that too.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to move it up the to-do list. Basically, like when it comes to farming on a freighter, there is a sort of min-max way of doing it, which is probably the way I'd focus on because generally I go for the min-max, but it shows you how to do it in other ways. Like basically, when it comes to farming on a freighter, the very basics of it is cuboid rooms and the planters. So, like, say, right with the planters, you can put the crops in instead of having domes. Like a small planter, which only houses one plant, is 5 complexity, whereas a 4 crop sort of planter, the large one, is 20. So it's actually no difference in complexity to use single ones instead of the one big one. So you could sort of have it. So do you know how they've got the sort of the part that holds the lights up above the plants?
Yeah.
Like that can make it awkward to reach plants if you do them like a lot of them. So basically, you'd have about you'd have like a single person, sort of like half a cuboid room walkway where you can walk down, and either side of you, you'd have the small planters. So the stick part is turned to the side on each of them, so you can easily reach about up to like 5 or 6 back without having to take up space, as in to be able to get to them by walking. And then basically flip the part that holds up the lights, so you can basically reach down like to about 5 or 6, and you basically just have a big long walkway with those on the sides. You can just reach down and farm that.
So you're saying when you're up against the tray, you can reach up to about 5 back. So if you make your room like 11 by whatever, 11
so,
however long.
Say, if you make it like, say, 5 or 7 wide, 7 would be risky because it might be really annoying to try and get the back one. So if you made it 5 wide, so you've got 1 in the middle where you come in, and then 2 either side, and then make it however long you can with the complexity. Like I said, I haven't actually done the maths on this yet. I know the basic idea in my head, and you can min-max it by using the side ones as well for like a single little thing. But yeah, the very basics of it, farming in your freighter is that you can't use domes, so you can only use cuboid. You can use cuboid rooms and planters. So it's all about fitting the most in the space if you wanted to maximise. But you could just have planters and it'd be fine. You don't need the maximum. That's just for my nerdness.
And
Cobra, that's a beautiful screen that I see on the live stream. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I think I'm just trying to put something there besides that test that's going on right there. Maybe I'll put some fan art. I'm going to put some fan art up here. Some cool fan art that somebody made. Yeah, I think I'll leave that right there. There we go. Oh,
yeah,
that's too big.
Do anything that is more fan-based and more realistic or something. That would be much beautiful.
I do want to add on to what Xaine was noting on with those large planters. You get the same base complexity in a freighter as you do on a planetary base, but you're creating the space to put the actual planters in, so it eats up a lot of complexity with the cuboid rooms.
Yeah,
but the cool thing about freighters is if you will call your freighter to your planet and cause it to warp, it will recharge those planters, so you never have to recharge them. And PS4, I know, confirmed.
It's confirmed on PCs. Yeah, they added 0.32 or something.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, it's cheers for noting that. But I'm finding it difficult to think of everything like to do with it because there's just so much of each thing. It's like so I appreciate it so much.
No problem.
But I tell you, if you watch Xaine's masterclass, like the first episode of masterclass, where he goes into the mathematics of the base complexities, that helps a ton. When you know what each piece costs in complexity, you can kind of sit down and do the math on some paper and figure out what you can get out of a freighter farm.
Xaine, I got a question for you. Another question. I'm a military person, you know, like a military class for soldiers in army and stuff like that, like in space, like in no sky space. Okay, I got one question. How can I recommend this? How can you put the mods on your ship, like guns and extra boost for the multiplier? You know what I mean? Like the multiplier when you shoot the bounties, the enemies.
Okay, so the multiplier is basically there when you're shooting them, like basically like in the back as they're flying away, or like if they're flying to the side around you, you can just like clip the back with the weapon, and that gives you a multiplier because you're basically hitting an unarmored part.
So how you recommend me to like increase the amplifier for the weapons and the multiplier to give more damage and buffs and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
The multiplier is actually set per weapon. Well, each weapon actually has the multiplier. I think it's only ever 2. Although I could have sworn I've seen it higher in the past, but that's just anecdotal. It's not like
interesting.
But like basically, it's to sort of maximize it. You just want to make sure your pulse engine upgrades are like in the best position possible. So you've got more maneuverability and speed in boosting and stuff, and basically just use like a phase beam. So basically just try and chase them and use a phase beam because that's really good because it's instant. So it's great for movement.
Okay, now I got you. It's interesting, yeah.
Guys, we got... I'm sorry, we got the Snow Obsidian on the chat. Snow, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Snow.
You caught me mid-sentence.
Did I?
You did. It's okay.
Oh. Well, guess what? You're in the subcast room. You've been raptured, and we're on the call with Xaine's World. Do you have any questions for Xaine?
Yes. Who are you?
Who am I?
Exactly. That's my question. Who are you?
Not this. Not this.
Is this like a meme? I don't know.
No, I'm Xaine. Who are you? I've never heard of this Xaine.
Okay. Basically, just an NMS YouTuber. Well,
okay. So like MZK and such. MZK and Cobra now plays and all them.
Xaine is a little more technical.
Okay, so Xaine is a little bit different. Xaine doesn't really cover the development or has, he doesn't have podcasts or subcasts or things like that. But what you get from Xaine, what in the world is going? What was that? What you get with Xaine is you get the science of No Man's Sky, like the number crunches. Like you could get rich in no time. You'll know how to, use your blueprints, put them where, what star ship is the best one to use, things like that. I mean, Zaine's like the ins and outs guy.
Yeah, if Cobra is the voice of enemy, then Xaine is the brain.
All hail Cobra and long live Xaine.
Oh, thank
you. Well done.
We're going to get another caller. We're going to get Bacon Pancakes. Bacon Pancakes just joined us. Bacon, we are on the call with Xaine. How are you, Bacon Pancakes?
My gosh, am I going to be really talking to Xaine right now?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, Xaine, dude, love your videos. Because of you, I made my first 20 mil plus circuit board farm using some of your schematics that you do. You are you are a god, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
I would go that far, but thank you.
Xaine, I'm gonna be like your first #1 fan for you because I'm really interested in your theories and all this stuff like money grind and everything. So I wanna know everything, how the good stuff about it.
Okay, cool.
Like I'm the one.
I gotta go.
This is like serious constellation in this chat right now, for real.
And the same as Cobra.
That's right.
And the same as Cobra.
One of my questions I have for you is, I guess
really quickly.
What?
I said that your stream is kind of lagging on my end.
Yeah, I see that.
So Noah says, "What's going on with the sound?" It's a bit spotty, says Matt Barrett.
It's Cobra's PC. It's been overtaken by Where. We need to help him get a new one. Wrong button. Fun down below, everyone. Do it. Go and do it now. Just saying.
The darkness has consumed Cobra's computer.
Oh god. Cobra, that artwork is amazing. Did you draw that?
No, I did not. No. One of the viewers of the show did. It's pretty amazing.
Before Atlas, right?
Oh, it is.
Or was this Atlas? Yeah, this was before Atlas.
No, that was done in anticipation for multiplayer to be added with this update.
Oh, that's right.
That's
nice.
great.
Yes.
That's a good.
It's incredible.
Good screenshot.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Could you imagine that really happening? All those ships coming together in one spot? And
oh my god! Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be awesome. We got.
I'm already moist enough. I'll be swimming in a minute.
I'm really. Do you think there's any chance that we will be limited to seeing a certain number of players at once? I mean, obviously, I think maybe they'll keep the 16 limit, and then have parties of 4 within that, so you could have 4 parties of 4 in one system.
I'd say there will definitely be a limit. There has to be.
Yeah.
How about this? How about make it like about 200 people in the certain planet, and put in a crowded place for people that can live there.
200 would be cool, but that would be tougher on my PC.
right. But on the PS4 might be the work of it. It works.
The graphics are far too good in No Man's Sky to have 200 people. It'd be like, it'd essentially be like an old school sort of like EverQuest 2 where you just stare at the floor to raid.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I agree.
Ooh, Xaine, I got a quick question for you, sir.
If you were, if there's one thing that you really want to see out of the next update, what would that be?
To be honest, mainly just like a sort of just like an overhaul of the planetary generation, just like improved. Like I know this is like the main topic that a lot of people talk about, other than multiplayer, but like I miss my old lush planet from Pathfinder. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
I miss. Honestly, there's some things in Atlas that I disliked, and the lush planet generation just is not what it used to be.
I can't believe this.
Shoot, man.
Okay, what I really want like when it comes to next is the new ships, like new type of ships and new other things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Thank you, Noah, in the chat for the donation to Super Chat. Says hashtag wrong button fund. The wrong button fund is the fund to help us get a new PC. Once we get a new PC, we'll be flying straight. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties tonight. Things just seem like they're getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm at the end. I literally am at the end.
After stream, I may be able to
My plush plants are taking over. You must exterminate them.
To everybody else's, inquiries on whether I put the side and move the PC. Yeah, I put the side back on, moved the PC out, and it just made it even hotter. I mean,
get you a submersible computer. I'm dead serious. Serious. One of the ones that's built inside the fish tanks. Those things are amazing.
If we could get a new PC,
I think we need a more maintenance-free computer for
that is maintenance
computers are not
full-time maintenance.
If we can get a new PC, I promise you, I will upload a video beating the living crap out of this PC with my bare hands and a baseball bat.
Take it out and beat it down. Just we can fix it up. You got to treat electronics with love, and they'll treat you with love back.
I treated this. I prayed to it. Like, please don't break on me tonight. Please, I love you.
Just like Mortal Kombat, like Cobra versus the PC.
I will tell you the one thing. I will tell you one thing. Never name your computer Precious.
Oh, no.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because one time my mother, she had a computer named Precious, and let me tell you, it's cursed. Anything that touches that computer, any hardware component that touches that computer, it renders it malfunctional and unusable.
But by any chance,
you put it in that computer. You put it in that computer, it dies. You can't just put it into anything else.
download anything.
The power supply.
Yeah,
guys,
it's probably just a dodgy power supply. That's just like has no sort of just is spitting out bad voltage.
Guys, we got Joe, the anti-pro, who's just joined the call. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, I guess. You raptured me just as I was telling everybody of the strange glitch that just happened to me in No Man's Sky.
Oh, do tell this. Tell us about let's see. Hold on. Your strange glitch.
I was trying to dock up with my freighter, and so I flew past the docking ports too quickly, and so it was unable to autopilot dock me into my freighter. However, it started all the sound effects of me docking to the freighter, but now I'm just flying forever backwards at a really fast speed and can't.
You need to reload. You need to reload immediately. You'll never get out of that. That happened to me not long ago with a. I went into the.
I got the same problem as that one, on the PS4. I got the same problem as that one too.
Yep.
Alex is sick. Alcasec has
Holy crap!
Good man.
Lexi check.
48.99 pounds.
Check.
Oh, Alex, check. Thank you so much, buddy, for the donation to Super Chat saying hashtag PC Fund. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate
48
that.
pounds.
Yeah.
Check.
Everyone hashtag him at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Guys, also the Super Chat is 60 days behind. If you donate to the wrong button fund down below on the PayPal link, that is immediate. But thank you so much, Alex Check. Hashtag that Cobra in the chat means a lot to me. Joe, that sounds like a pickle that you're in, man. Yeah, I'd reload that last save.
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah.
I was getting attacked by pirates, too.
Oh, then that might be the case. That might be the case.
Yeah.
No.
Johnny.
I have this exact same situation before. I know how it works. Basically, what happened to me was that I hit my freighter and went in at the same time. So I bounced back while trying to enter the freighter. So it rendered my ship as bouncing back and not entering the freighter. Yet the sound effects rendered it as I was entering my freighter, which is a weird glitch.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Johnny B in the chat, thank you so much for the donation to the Super Chat saying hashtag PC Fund.
I just did it again.
What? Did you do that?
Apparently, if I'm flying at my freighter at a 90-degree angle to try to get the auto docking thing to pull me into my freighter, it doesn't work. It just causes my ship to do a 180 and then fly backwards.
Land somewhere, resummon your freighter.
Oh, were you boosting at the time?
Yes.
Because there is a mechanic. If you boost in the space station, you'll just bounce off for a while. But normally it's not permanent, as in infinite. But I think it is with that glitch. It's weird.
Yeah, when it happens though, it's like as I'm floating away from my ship, I'm accelerating, floating away from my ship.
Well, the docking bay on the freighters extend out like half the length of the freaking freighters, so you really got to be careful where you're coming in at, because if you come right up the nose, God, I've hit it so many times. Not at the nose, but on the sides. Yeah, you can sit there and bounce off the tracking beams, and it just never land. But you have to go halfway up your freighter for it to actually kick in.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess up this time. I think the conversation can go away from my glitch now.
Let's see if we get another Cobra on the call here. Let's see who's waiting in the chat.
So Xaine, while he's doing that, I've got a question for you.
Yes, Jim.
Okay, so here's the thing. I want to make a second creative save, but I'm concerned that since both saves will be in Euclid, will one creative base destroy the other one in a separate save?
No. Question. Even if I won't. Are you talking about making a base in the exact same planet with two different saves?
Just the thing is that I'm making a creative save somewhere else in a separate system.
Okay, no, you can have multiple bases. Like Sword has got 12 bases. I've got about 8 or 10. Basically
on the same save.
Yeah, on the same save. But
Hello? Anybody there?
You can only see your current one. Everyone else can see all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Like
if you do not take down your base, leave it intact, and claim another base, that base will exist on the server for everybody else but you.
Yep.
Or if you actually make a backup. Basically, I made a root save. It's much easier on PC because you can just copy some files. It takes a second. Mm-hmm. On PS4, you need to do USB sticks and stuff. But basically, you make when you're packing up your base originally, one that you're not going to leave, which is what I did. I packed up my base and I left the actual system. And then I basically made a backup of that save. Then I carried on with my normal game. Whenever I want to build a new base, I go back to that backup and just sort of make a separate fork in the timeline of that save. and basically just create a new base, and then if you want to create another one, I'll go back to the original route backup and then make another one. And it doesn't affect my current one. I can use the same mats for each base I make. So it's kind of a thing.
That's getting deep. I mean, alternate realities in a
I can force reality.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna go.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks
Take care,
for
man.
having me on. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too, buddy. Take care.
That's why it's being glitchy. Zane's caused a paradox with his alternate reality.
Oh, with him leaving, I'll let you know that Ronk really wants to get raptured, and he's been going on about every time he joins the Atlas FM waiting room, he doesn't get raptured.
The same I said that we said.
Your time will come around.
Yeah,
Jamie, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, I've been I miss you, Cobra.
I miss you too, buddy.
Ronk.
We're probably going to end the show here pretty soon. We're having too many technical difficulties.
It's because I'm here.
No, it's not because of you. It's not because of you at all.
I know.
It's because Cobra needs a new PC. Wrong button fun. Go do it now.
What y'all talking about?
Xaine. We got Xaine on the call. Xaine, if you have any questions for farming or Starship blueprint attachments or what's a better weapon, what's a better ship, he's the guy to talk to.
Good day.
Okay.
I need help on that. My combat skills suck right now.
Combat skills, as in like with the ship or on.
Are you talking to me? Who are you talking to?
Yeah. You're asking.
Well, I did get some new, weapons. I got the rocket launcher. I got whatever that pink thing is, and the purple thing. I don't know how to explain what they're called.
Colors change as you upgrade. So
You want about the infrared and the cyclotron?
Yeah, my favorite though is the rocket launcher. But is there not a specific way to aim it?
Well, with the rocket launcher, it hasn't basically the rocket launcher is the ultimate one that you need them to be coming at you in a straight line, otherwise you'll never hit them. Or you need to be incredibly skilled at working out where they're going to be. So basically the best use, the rocket launcher is good in the start of the game, but only against the weakest ships. Because that's why they give it you. So then when the weakest ship is coming at you, you shoot it once, it destroys it in one shot. Job's a good one. But later on, it's only so job's good. Its later use is sort of as a prelim to phase beams. So you basically, as they come towards you, because the rocket launch has a 5,000 range compared to the phase beams 1,500. You can basically wait until they just come in range of phase, shoot the rocket launcher off, start hitting with the phaser, and basically the rocket launcher will hit just after you started hitting with the phaser, and you'll pretty much destroy a 3-star ship with an upgraded phaser in a second.
So you're saying the phase beam is the way to go?
Yeah, the phase beam is the best sort of movement weapon. So if they're flying around,
I tend to have a hard time aiming it. It doesn't always target on the entity.
I have heard it's actually a lot harder on PS4. I can't.
Yeah. It is harder
because I haven't played PS4, so I can't. Yeah.
You really have to aim for the circle outside of your aim box. When you're looking at them, go more towards that circle that's kind of ahead of them, and not at the actual ship. The phase beam will tend to pick up more if you go ahead of them.
And you want to wait until you see the red reticle turn red before you fire. Even if you don't want to fire while it's white, even if you're aiming at the right spot, you have to wait till your reticle turns red. And you'll be dead on every time.
That might be what I've been doing wrong. Okay.
It's just like a missile
guided. Not in range.
Missile guided missiles, like in the real army. I'm saying you shoot a missile, you gotta wait. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head off for now.
Okay.
See you, Tom.
Awesome talk to you.
Thank you for the
you guys say something, Cobra?
What's that?
Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, guys, I think with all the technical difficulties, nobody's enjoying the show out there. So I think we might have to go ahead and cut this short.
Okay. I didn't see all those. Currently unlistenable, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a bad night. I apologize to everybody, and it's embarrassing.
We're all drained. It's okay.
It's okay,
Hopefully,
Cobra. Don't worry.
No big deal.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully this
This community is awesome, dude. They'll come hang with you just to watch the black screen, Cobra.
Yeah, I'm with you all the. I'm with you all the way, Cobra, because I always follow you every video you show up, and I look at it like I'm never gonna sleep.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to, like I said, hopefully this gets uploaded. I know you guys are experiencing some problems, but hopefully it uploads properly, and I'll just take it and re-upload it, just so that way there's something on the screen while you're watching and listening, whatever. But Xaine, dude, you're amazing. I have such high respect for you. If anybody hasn't already, and I think we've met a couple tonight, go check out Xaine. And get he's got a lot of useful information, and with PvP coming up, we're gonna need to if it's not going to be a separate mode, and we got a normal mode, so you're gonna want to go ahead and try and get that starship tailored up, get those units banked, and Xaine's the place to go to learn all that stuff.
Oh yeah, thank you, man, and thank you for having me on. It's been.
And remember, just go ahead, Xaine.
I was just saying it's been fun. Continue.
And guys, remember to go Hulk smash that like button tomorrow during the stream. Guys, Siege Ninja, I'm telling you, brother, I'm going to give a big shout out to Siege Ninja. He's the other co-captain of the Zaine's World Cheer Squad.
Yeah.
Man, we cheer them like buttons for 5 hours. Get it done. Do it.
Get it done.
Saying you're the best.
Sword, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, very awesome, guys. Very awesome.
So, okay, go ahead.
And remember, everybody, we are a constellation, so reach out to everybody there in the chat. Subscribe to somebody you've never seen before. Do little by little each day. Well, we got Jamie wanted to say something. What's up, Jamie?
Oh, okay. It's really quick. If anyone wants to team up with me on No Man's Sky next, I need 3 people to group with me on PS4, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. My PSN is tow truck.
Get in the Discords, man. Get in the Discords. That's where we're all gonna be teaming up for sure.
Yeah,
I'll be there too. I'll be there when it comes to next. Ronk, I'm with you all the way too. Remember me.
I'm gonna stream that.
I'll just be traveling across the universe to meet up with my girlfriend, and that's pretty much.
That's awesome stuff. Yes. Yes.
No Man's Sky marriages. I'm sure it's gonna happen. It's gonna be
yeah.
It's gonna be a side quest for people.
We're gonna rename this game No Man's Marriage.
Attractive, Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm renaming this No Man's Marriage.
No.
So,
all right, everybody.
A No Man's Marriage sounds awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Sounds like Last of Us too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Perfect. Wait, take your walk with you. Yep. And see you, Cobra. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, it was awesome, Jamie. It's a pleasure.
Just make sure it's No Man's Marriage. That's all you gotta remember.
Who said Semtex off?
Oh, that was amazing. Sorry, that was so good.
I'm gonna stream No Man's Sky, but call it No Man's Marriage in the title.
There you go.
Clickbait.
You gotta be. You gotta have a Gek to be your preacher.
Of course.
Oh no, he said the G word.
It would be hilarious to be just like off Beetlejuice.
Well, what about the Corvax?
Nah.
They wouldn't care.
They could be the
they don't care at all.
The callbacks would just be scanning everyone while the ceremony's going on.
It's not popped up on the screen or anything because of the technical issues, but Johnny B, the awesome, amazing person he is, has actually donated another $10 to your PayPal to help.
Johnny B. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Johnny B. Thank you so much, buddy.
Hashtag Johnny B in the comment section.
Xaine.
And anybody else I may have missed as well. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Well, Cobra.
Yeah.
I got a question. I mean, once it start the No Man's Sky update next, should you join with us in the game and everything like that, like a live stream subcast?